Good evening, this is Basil Green speaking, and I've just come with a weekly review for this week. We are live, and I'm late today, but better late than never. So it's one of the days where I really never manage my time well. I should have went down to go and charge my phone a little bit earlier. So I've applied for electricity. I'm just waiting for Eskom to come and sort it out. Hopefully, I will get correspondence as soon as possible. I found another avenue to get electricity. I didn't know. That's one of the things. So there were a few people that came and tell me that I can go and apply at Eskom to receive lights. So hopefully in the next few days, not days, but maybe a month or two, depending on how long it takes for them to respond, I will be fully charged up with lights, and my time will be a little bit used a little bit better, because almost every day I take a walk down to my parents' place to go and charge my phone and my modem. I kind of feel upset sometimes because at night I experience some loss with the modem. So I'm hoping I'll be able to last longer. So I found my power bank that keeps me going for a couple of hours more than I need to go and charge at my mom's place. But today is not the topic of the subject. Today I want to talk about faithfulness again. I spoke about our faithfulness towards God, this morning. I titled the message on the spoken word. Your faithfulness to God is good for you. Now I want to talk about your faithfulness in South Africa. How faithful are we to our nation? A lot of us have been created by God. And I know some people are going to think I'm preaching. Today I'm not preaching. Remember, it's a review. I'm just going to share what I believe needs to be focused on when I look. I wanted to talk about the Zondo Commission and really what is going on. And I decided, I'm just going to focus on faithfulness. Have our leaders been faithful to our nation? Because they have been entrusted with very, very important things and assets in our country. But when we look at their lives, have they been faithful? Have we been faithful to what our nation needs? Have we been the responsible leaders that we need to be on an individual level and on a corporate level or a collective level? And when you're leading other people, have you been faithful? I believe, firmly believe that one person's action is significant to the success of this nation. Now, there are 54 million people, could be more, 55 million people here in South Africa, and each person's contribution is important. Whatever we sow in to the kids when they are young, whatever we sow into the kids when they reach high school age or tertiary level, whatever they sow into their lives thereafter, as they grow into adults, is important. Why? Because that thing is gonna come and affect the success of the nation. And have we as individuals, when you look at your life, have you been faithful to what South Africa is supposed to be achieving? Yeah, we need stuff here in our nation. We are seeing there is a deep, deep cry for leadership here in South Africa. Our leaders are struggling. Our people that are following them are struggling. The instructions that the people receive, they just follow them without actually critically thinking about the consequences of their actions. And we need to find out, have we been faithful to the success of our South Africa needs success. South Africa needs prosperity. South Africa needs good things to happen to South Africa. Have we been successful? My opinion, I don't think we have reached that stage where we have shown faithfulness towards the success of this nation, because we have a lot of issues that need to be dealt with. But it's not all gloom and doom. There are good things happening in our nation. There are innovations taking place. People are excelling. There are things happening. However, we have not reached the place where we can say South Africa is operating at its normal potential. South Africa has a lot of potential to do great things, to become a great nation. However, we find that our faithfulness towards what South Africa needs to become in order for it to become successful is not being done, because our nation is going through a lot of challenges. I just want to encourage you today as we doing this review of our nation. You look at this week, and I just want to highlight that as I wanted to speak about the Zondo Commission, when you look at those people, look at yourself as well, because sometimes we can point a finger, but three fingers are pointing back at us. So we have to also look at ourselves and also ask, okay, what am I doing that is also contributing to the loss of money in our nation? You are needed in this country. I am needed in this country. Every individual is needed in this country. Now, from what I remember in my economics, today I just had a sense that I needed to go back for economics lesson. I'm not going back to high school, so don't think I'm gonna try and structure my learning, but I have to prepare for my exams at UNISA now. So I have to just see how much time I can allocate to learning about economics. But we speak about GDP per capita, so on the individual level. When that is measured, you as an individual, how much money are you producing for this nation? How much are you contributing to the economy of South Africa? Your earning potential, how much it is it? When you measure yourself with the education. Today I just had a quote that came to me, and I wrote it down. And education gives you the freedom to choose how much you earn. So how faithful have you been to earning as much as possible before you leave this earth? Not because you want to flaunt about how much you are making, but because you want to add to the economy of this nation, and so that this economy might flourish. Now, I know it's disheartening to see stuff that is happening at the Zondo Commission, because much of that money is coming from the taxpayer, and that taxpayers' money is being squandered by people who have been given stewardship. You know what a steward is? A steward is somebody that does not own things. So they don't own it. A steward is somebody that is being given responsibility to allocate those funds in a responsible way. So we have entrusted these people. They have been entrusted by the majority of this nation to actually take care of specific things in our country. Now, I know there might be other experts. I'm still working on getting more people to come on board to actually share their views here on the Breadbasket Show. You will generally hear about them speaking on a Thursday on uh, it's Basil Green live with a straight talk with Basil Green. So you can come on board uh, so that you can experience what these people are talking about. But at the moment, we want to just focus on faithfulness. Have you been faithful? Now we are looking at our leaders at the Zondo Commission. Those people that are there, they are there because they need to make things right, and we need to make sure we as individuals do not follow in that same path where we become people that are going to destroy this nation. So let us review our lives. This week is finished. We are on Sunday in South Africa. A new week is starting Monday, tomorrow. We're gonna go all to our various places of work. I had a rest today. My business at home is not operating, and tomorrow I'm going to be doing some interviews. I finally got to that stage. I needed to just get my home business sorted out, so that I can do the other parts of my stuff, so that I can employ people, and I'm trusting to do that, do my part of being a faithful citizen of South Africa, because I believe God has called me to effect change here in our nation. I share my vision. My vision is to help people become responsible leaders that influence the success of the nation positively. So we have to have a positive influence on our nation. If it is negative, then you need help. I'm here to help you. If you find people that are not pouring out what is inside of them, there's a lot of people with potential. Whenever I'm doing my stuff, I'm speaking to the one who has potential in them to do great things. But they are not doing those great things because there are challenges in front of them which they are unable to overcome. And as a result of their inability to overcome those challenges, they are not manifesting the fullness of what's inside of them. There's stuff locked up inside of us that needs to be released into the nation, so that the nation's economy might be transformed. We are here to change the world, to make the world a better place. That's what I believe. We all have a purpose for being here, and we need to become faithful people, not only to our own agendas. I know that we have to be faithful also to that. However, when we are being faithful to our agendas in our lives, our visions in our life, for our own personal lives, let us not forget that as we are doing that, we have a nation also to actually build, to contribute to, as individuals. Remember, the actions of many people, small actions by many people actually become something big. So, on an individual level, if we are all thinking about how much we can contribute to South Africa, we will be able to become those people. This is my review for the week, because that I believe some of the people that are put on the spotlight at the Zondo Commission have been shown to be unfaithful towards our nation's success, and we need to also become those people that, as we are analyzing that should be a message to us as individuals, as we are pointing the finger we have to be more critical to ourselves. So there are three fingers pointing back. So we need to be spending less time pointing at them and more time looking at those three other fingers that are pointing at us and say, okay, what are the issues in our lives that are causing us to not show, faithfulness at a major level, so that our nation's success can be transformed. This is Basil Green speaking, and I'm hoping that you don't answer this question immediately. This is something that requires deep thought. You have to sit down every single day with yourself and let your conscience speak to you as you review your own life. This weekly review is also to teach you how to spend some time thinking about your life. I like to come home after some days, just come home and do nothing. I just sit, allow myself to unwind. And I also like to spend time by myself so that I can think about life and think about my actions. And I believe you also must also apply those things, so that we have to start to critically analyze the things that we are doing with our lives. Now, me, I'm not a perfect person. You are not a perfect person. We understand. So that we when we make mistakes, we can, reflect on that, and then take action afterwards once we have decided how are we going to move forward. They say that, I think it was Albert Einstein, that you are able to see insanity by doing the same things every time and expecting a different results. Now, that's not talking about persistence. It's talking about you doing something that is dangerous. You can see that this thing is damaging the success of our nation, and you're going to continue to do stuff like that. Don't And then you expect different results, then you aren't going to be doing the right thing. But let me not veer off too much about today's topic about being faithful. Let us be faithful to what our nation needs. Let us become people who are faithful. Synonyms to the word faithful, we can think about being loyal, being a patriot. I know some people don't like the Americans, but the Americans are patriotic about their nation. They talk about the American dream. They have the American dream. What is South Africa's dream? What is South Africa's dream? Even Martin Luther King spoke about, I have a dream in his speech. Uh, you know, so, what dream do we have for this nation? And what are we doing to actually realize that dream? Are we faithful to that dream that we have for our nation as a collective and as an individual? When you are coming out to do your vision here in South Africa, what are you contributing towards the dream of this nation? Now you have to think about that. The dream of this nation's success. The American dream talks about the success of that nation and the success of the individual. What are you contributing towards that dream? Some people have visions, and their visions is to rob, kill, steal, and destroy. And that's not a good vision. Why? Because you are not adding to the success of the nation. You are taking away from the success of the nation. So let us become people who contribute positively to what South Africa needs. I'm going to end now. This is South African Basil Green speaking, and I hope you come back next time. Please come on board tomorrow for our Monday night intercession. If you like to pray, we are going to intercede for our nation. Firstly, we are interceding for the church. We are also interceding for the nations of the world. because God wants to bless South Africa, Africa, and all the nations in the world, so that they can become prosperous nations. So come on board tomorrow and let us intercede and petition the Lord to do His stuff. And then on Tuesday, I did tell you that I'm going to be talking about the 7 lessons that I learned from my first business meeting with a client after I became an entrepreneur. These are going to be powerful for the one that is seeking some lessons about doing business here in South Africa. So, some things are difficult. You can avoid a lot of pitfalls. Some things cannot be avoided 100%, but you can plan ahead, be proactive as to how you're going to respond when that particular thing happens to you. So be sure to come on board even on Tuesday. I'm just gonna upload on Tuesday. There's no live on Tuesday. I will come back again on Wednesday to be live for the Wednesday night intercession, and then on Thursday evening I'm going to be back with straight talk with Basil Green, live on the Bread Basket Show. And then on Friday, I wanted to add something. I'm going to be here Monday to Friday with you at 7 o'clock. We're going to be doing things. So on Friday, I'm implementing my show called Youth Up. My show Youth Up, which I'm going to be doing on the Bread Basket Show. Now, I had suggested it to another online radio station, and they rejected it. Said there are already people on the show, on their station, that have been with them from the beginning. So I had a backup. So I just thought, okay, if they rejected, and they don't want the show, I'm gonna continue with it. Continue this conversation on my podcast. So it's called Youth Up. Why? Because we are raising up a new generation. So we're going to be talking specifically about youth, just talking about things that have to do with youth. The youth need a voice too. So there are things I've got planned. There are things I want to do on the Youth Up segment on a Friday night. I was a youth leader on a Friday night, and I know many young people need to be taken and given something to look forward to. So at least even just for an hour from 7 o'clock until 8 o'clock, that's fine, just to sit and listen to what we have to talk about. It's not going to be as intense as this, what we are talking about, but it's going to involve you becoming a responsible leader that influences the success of the nation in a positive way. Goodbye.